everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Hermanas Unfiltered, where we talk about the real, the raw, and relatable moments in life. My name is Isela, and today I am joined by my amazing sister, Casey. What's up, sister?
Hello, everybody. I'm Casey, your middle school teacher, and as always, keeping it real and relatable. So, today we're going to be diving into the holiday spirit with a special Christmas episode, which I'm super excited about. So, we're going to talk about traditions, family, and how we make this season magical.
Yes, but before we get into our personal stories, let's talk about a little bit of history. Casey, did you know that Christmas as we know it didn't start out as a Christian holiday?
That's right, it actually has roots in ancient pagan festivals like Saturnalia in Rome, which celebrated the winter solstice. Now, people exchanged gifts and they decorated with greenery, kind of like we do today.
Yes, and when Christianity became more widespread, the church incorporated these traditions to celebrate the birth of Jesus. So December 25th became the official date, even though the exact date of Jesus' birth is unknown.
It's amazing how these traditions evolved over time to what we now know as Christmas, a mix of religion, significance, and cultural customs.
Yes. So let's get personal, Casey. Growing up, my family celebrated Christmas pretty traditionally. We always got together with our immediate family members. We would cook a meal and then open gifts on Christmas Eve. It was never this big, elaborate people coming over and extended family coming over. It was always just my parents, my sister, and myself. And then we did have a few years when we would get together at the extended family's house, but it was never a big old celebration with a bunch of people. It was more of an intimate thing. What about you, Casey? How did y'all celebrate Christmas?
Well, my story's a little different. Now, growing up, we didn't celebrate Christmas at all.
Mm,
And that's because my mom's a Jehovah's Witness. So we didn't have a tree, there weren't any lights, no gifts. It wasn't until I got married that I really started celebrating Christmas with my husband and his family. So it was, I remember the holidays. I was always that one little kid who couldn't participate in the Christmas pageant or the Christmas gift exchange. And it always made me pretty sad because I really wanted to participate and just wanted to know what it would be like to receive a present.
mm-hmm.
Because my mom didn't give presents. So, yeah, once, I met my husband, um, we would celebrate with him, like with his family. And that was the beginning of our Christmas story.
So let me ask you this. How did you like did your mom come to the school and tell the teachers like she cannot participate in anything, or is it something that you just learned growing up like I can't be part of this, I gotta step to the side and let everybody have fun, but I can't be part of it? Like how do you take that as a kid?
It's hard. My mom definitely went up to the school and told them she can't celebrate Christmas, Easter, Halloween, Thanksgiving, any of that. And then you just kind of become accustomed to it, or you just, after a while, you get a little numb and it just hurts a little less because you're so used to it.
Hmm.
But it's hard as a little kid because you want to be a part of the festivities and you want to be a part of, especially during Christmas, like believing in the whole big magic of of Santa or like Christmas and presents and all that. So it's hard. It took some getting used to, but eventually, I guess you get brainwashed enough that you just go with it and you comply.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So because it has been a big old shift from growing up not celebrating anything at all, not even birthdays, right? You
Mm-hmm.
celebrated nothing at all.
Nothing. Nothing.
How did it feel when you started celebrating the holidays? Because you started celebrating some holidays after you moved out, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then Christmas didn't get as big as it is now
I
until
agree.
you got married?
Yeah, I think, once I stopped going to the religion, I didn't really celebrate Christmas until I moved out. And even then, it was kind of just here and there. But
Mhm.
once I married my husband, he's a pretty traditional guy, and Christmas was a big thing for him. I honestly, like, I was so ready to celebrate Christmas. I always thought it was a super magical holiday, and it felt like I was discovering a whole new world. It was or is a little intimidating because I feel like I'm so behind and I'm catching up.
Mhm.
I didn't know how to decorate a tree. I didn't know, just the little things like backtracking, like for Easter. Like, I didn't know you bought your kids baskets and you gave them baskets. I didn't grow up with any of that. And same thing for Christmas. Like, I didn't, stockings. Like, what do you do with stockings? I didn't know you like filled up stockings, or like how some people do book traditions that they open up books and they read a book, you know, every night for 10 days or the 12 days of Christmas. So,
Mhm.
I kind of had to discover that new world on my own. And, we started creating our own traditions like baking cookies and watching Christmas movies and listening to Christmas music. So, what about you? Did you keep the traditions you grew up with? For you, like, what did you do, like, for Christmas? Like, what y'all do? Like tamales, or did y'all open up presents on Christmas Eve? Did y'all wait till Christmas Day? Like, what did y'all do growing up?
Honestly, I don't even remember what we would cook for Christmas. I don't remember. I just remember like staying home with my parents, and then we always open gifts Christmas Eve to go into Christmas Day, cuz if you're Hispanic, that's what we do, right? You
Mm-hmm.
celebrate, of course you don't know this cuz you didn't grow up like this, but from what you have seen,
Mm-hmm.
if you're Hispanic, you celebrate the night before. So December 24th, Christmas Eve is when you have all your celebrations. That's when you eat, you play games. Um you gather with family, and then you open usually gifts at midnight because it's already December 25th, Christmas Day. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the goal for every single kid, to stay up as late as you can to open up all your gifts on Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, at midnight. But I think what has changed, that I have changed with my husband and my kids, is we don't wrap presents until the night, Christmas Eve. So then that way when the kids wake up Christmas Day, they have the gifts under the tree. So our tree is bare
Mm-hmm.
from the moment it gets put out until Christmas Day morning. And then stuff gets ripped out, and then it's bare again until um January that we put it away. So I think that's one thing that has changed. We don't do, at least here in my household, we don't do the traditional like celebrate at midnight until midnight, open gifts at midnight. Of course, we do that when we go to our in-laws' house. And then like growing up, Christmas Day was just, you just lay around and play with the toys that you got the night before, and everybody sleeps in because everybody stayed up super late. But I think that's the only thing that has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it depends on who we're celebrating with as well. If we celebrate with my parents, then we open gifts on the 24th. And then if we go to the in laws, then we open gifts on the 25th there with them. But my goal is to just go back to my growing up roots
Mm-hmm.
and staying home and celebrating with my kids and my husband, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then whatever happens afterwards, then we'll go see other family members.
All right.
Okay.
So I know you mentioned your tree, and could you tell us, when do you set your tree, and do you put any Christmas lights out?
So this year we set it up like that Friday that we went on break for Thanksgiving, because I didn't want to do it over the weekend, and I definitely didn't want to do it over the break. I don't know, in the past 10 years, I've been
Mm-hmm.
like a big old Grinch. I don't want to do it. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't see a point to it if we're not going to be home. Like, what are we doing this for? Um, But like I said, since I know this year we'll be home for Christmas, then I was really excited to set everything out. I did it early this year, right before Thanksgiving break. And then sometimes my husband will put out lights around the house. He hasn't done it in a few years. Um, but yeah, that's about it. We did it early this year. We
Mhm.
didn't used to because it was always a drag for me.
Mhm.
And then I feel like this year putting everything out early and decorating early meant like it's telling my kids like it's officially Christmas season.
Mhm.
Um, let's get started. You know what I mean? And the kids were super excited about it too. So yeah, we did it early this year. What about you?
Oh, let's see. I think it varies on the year. I know the years that we usually have the babies, or when the kids are little, we have like infants in the home. Usually takes us a
Mm-hmm.
little bit to get everything out. We always do it as a family. My
Right.
husband and the boys will help with a tree and putting it together, and then I'll decorate around the house. We'll put up the stockings. We'll listen to Christmas music as we're decorating the home. Um, this year we put our all our Christmas stuff out the week after Thanksgiving. So we did it pretty early. Um,
That's fun.
and I love to keep my Christmas stuff out as long as humanly possible. Like I'm one of those people that I will have decorations usually past January. I just love the way the house looks decorated and it just brings the kids so much joy. As far as the outside, this has been the second year that we've put Christmas lights on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm hoping it's a new tradition that sticks.
That's awesome. Well, did you know that you're actually supposed to keep your decorations out until we usually keep them out until Dia de Reyes,
Mm-hmm.
which is January 6th. That's we put them out. We put them up afterwards. But I think you're actually supposed to keep them out until February something, Dia de la Candelaria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right because I remember going to church and the priest saying how it's important to keep your decorations up past
Mm-hmm.
Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually wait until January 6th or Dia de Reyes to put them up. But I know, like my mom, because she's like a devoted Catholic, I think
Mm-hmm.
she waits until February something, because that's when Christmas is officially over. Um, Dia de la Candelaria, I think. But don't quote me on that, because I'm not a devoted Catholic. But
It sounds about
um,
right to me.
yeah. And then, what about shopping? When do you do your shopping?
Let's see. So usually, um, it varies. Sometimes we're pretty last minute. Me and my husband kind of do the shopping together. We'll discuss gifts, what we should give them. We'll write it all out, who gets what. Sometimes, some years we'll do like a three present minimum. Other years, if we know, we have a little extra cash, we'll buy like little things. But for the most part, you know, we do it semi early ish. Um, but there's years where we've been the total last minute people that are doing it like the weekend before. So it varies for us. And I think it also depends on like our family keeps growing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like the years when the kids were little and it was hard for us to get away and go do shopping, we were probably a little bit more last minute. What about you guys? Do you guys go all out for the kiddos?
Like with expensive gifts and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah,
that?
with
Or.
yeah. Like how do you guys do it?
So we usually start our shopping. We buy everything on Amazon, basically. Um, so we start either like in November or well, what the heck? I guess 'cause we're last minutes too. Because November it's pretty late to the game. We're not
Yeah.
those people that buy stuff throughout the year. I
Yeah,
wish
how
I
do
could
they
be
do
one of
it?
those people. I
Dude,
don't know, dude.
right? If I were to shop in June, there's no way the presents would make it for December. Like I would get so
No.
excited and be like, "Oh my gosh,
Mm-mm.
look what I bought you."
Yeah,
Or
that's me.
right? Or I would totally forget that we purchased those presents and then I'd end up ordering more stuff. I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I would forget, but I'm definitely one of those people that can't keep, like, I'm too excited. If I buy you
Mhm.
something, I'm super excited and I just want you to have it right then and there. So,
Same.
I couldn't do it super early in the year. But I like I said, we definitely buy like in November, and we ask the kids, make a list of like
Mhm.
your top 3 things that you want. And then depending on what's on the list, then we'll either buy all 3 or like the most desirable ones or the most accessible ones depending on financial situations as well.
Mhm.
Um but that's about it. I mean, we don't buy for anybody else other than our kids. We've been doing that for a few years now. Um I feel like it doesn't need to be Christmas for me to like think about people and want to buy them stuff,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
No,
And
totally.
then also scrambling to buy stuff for people that either don't need anything or don't want anything. Like,
Mhm. It's
it's
a
so
big stress.
stressful.
Yeah.
It's so stressful and I hate it. And then all I keep thinking about is what if they don't like it? What if they hate it? What if it like ends up in some trash bin like the very next day because I don't know. I mean, I know people, but I don't know them well enough, or I feel like I don't know them well enough to like buy something that they don't have already, or
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
just so stressful. I hate it. I hate it so much. So I cut it off a while back, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna put myself through the stress of doing that.
Yeah.
Um, and speaking of gifts, do you wrap your gifts right away, or do you leave them in a closet? And then, if so, do your kids ever go hunting for them?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know what? Usually we just let things we hide things, like we'll hide them
Mhm.
like in a closet or like in different cupboards or places where we think the kids wouldn't look for them. And then the night before, we usually do all our wrapping. My husband and I will kind of do like assembly style, and you know, I'll I'll wrap. We'll take turns kind of like wrapping presents, and we just kind of do it in a frenzy, and it's super fast and crazy and hectic and very stressful. For me, wrapping presents is super stressful. I feel like it takes so long to get everything wrapped. And
Yeah,
then usually the next morning, like we're packing all of those gifts to take them to
I hate
my
that.
in-laws. And it's so frustrating because we stay up super late the night before and we're trying to get everything wrapped nice and neat. And then we have to travel with the gifts and make sure that the kids don't see them, or if they do, that they don't shake them, or like that the wrapping doesn't get crinkly and ugly on the way to my in-laws. So it's a little stressful to say the least. I don't enjoy the whole wrapping of gifts and throwing them all in the car the next day. It's just, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, we wrap them last minute, and then, we get everything situated and we're done. But it feels more like a chore than, something fun to do.
Right. I completely agree.
What about you guys?
Um, so we hide them as well, as they come in. We don't even get them out of the Amazon boxes. We just leave, like, if there's 2, 3 gifts in one box, we'll just leave them in the box and hide them away in a closet, under the bed, wherever it fits, in the garage. Um, where else? In the attic. We've put stuff in the attic before. Um, in my car. Sometimes I've kept things in the back of my car, and then that's dangerous because one year a kid kind of saw something back there, and I was
Yeah.
like, "No, you're tripping. There's nothing back there." And then I had to like get it out and hide it right away. So when they looked the next time, it wasn't there. And they're like, "What was it, mom?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing back there." So yeah, we hide them everywhere, and so far they haven't came up with any plans to try to go look for stuff. Um, but yeah, that's about it. What about stocking stuffers? Do y'all do those?
Yes. Yes, we have our little stockings hung up, and we try to put little goodies, and we don't go crazy or anything. We do candies or gums or little treats. Nothing
Mhm.
nothing too insane, but yeah, we do like to put stuff in the stockings. What about you guys?
No, we don't do stockings. I mean, we have them,
Mhm.
but we don't do them. I forget about them. Like, I
Yeah.
forget that you're supposed to, like, put stuff in them.
Mhm.
So, I guess they're more of a decoration for us than anything
Yeah.
else. I
And
forget about them.
you know what? There's been years where I've, like, put, like, random stuff, like toothbrushes or, I think one year, like, I totally forgot, and I think I put fruit in them.
Oh, that's
And the
hilarious.
kids were like, "What the heck is this?" So, yeah, I totally get the whole forgetting about them thing because
Yeah.
there's been years where we definitely, forgot all about the stockings.
Well, and I think a lot of it has to do, I don't know if my husband grew up with them, but I know surely, for sure, I didn't grow up with uh stockings.
Mhm.
Um, because houses in Mexico don't have fireplaces.
Mm.
And if they do, I don't think I've ever seen one. So it was not a thing for us. So like I said, now we have them, but they're more of a decoration piece and actually like to put gifts in it. We had the shoe like uh Dia de Reyes Magos when
Uh-huh.
you celebrated on January 6th, you put your shoe at the window and then the three kings or the Reyes Magos bring you something small to put in your shoe. So then it was like candies or like a single Barbie or like something small, a small
Mhm.
toy in your shoe.
Oh, that's really cool. We never did that.
Yeah, and you know what else would be cool? Maybe I'll do it this year since my two kids are older. Like maybe chopsticks, like you said, gum,
Mm.
some type of like small gadget or gift cards. Oh, you know what we do put in them or we don't. So I don't know if your kids have these. My kids do. They have like this market that comes to the school and
Oh,
they
yeah.
sell like little knickknacks. You can buy
Mhm.
like a whole bunch of stuff for $10. So the
Mhm.
kids will buy stuff at the market, and
Mhm.
that's what they put in the stockings, the gifts that they buy at the school,
Oh, that's cute.
um, in there. So, but yeah, I feel like those little gifts are like from the kids are so special.
Mm. Those are
The
my
little
favorite.
gadget that they bring home.
Yeah, I know one year I had one of the boys or one year I had one of the kids bring me like a little necklace, and another year like a little ring. I know I've gotten like an apron, best mom apron, and yeah,
Hmm.
those are the best. I love those gifts. They mean so much to me.
Yeah, they're so special, and then you feel bad for not wearing them, but then you
Mhm.
don't, because they're cheap and stuff, so you don't want to
Yeah.
like lose something. So I've always kept them put
Mhm.
up.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. It's the best part. Okay, so let's talk about when is the best time
Oh God,
to tell your child that Santa does not exist.
man, poor kids.
I know.
Um, I don't know. I guess it depends on your family dynamic and how up to date your kids are with like everything around the world.
Mhm.
We told ours, I want to say 2 years ago. I think third grade and fifth,
Mhm.
which I think he already knew. My daughter didn't know. She was devastated.
Aw.
Yeah, we poor thing. We busted her bubble, but I don't know. I mean, I like I said, I guess it depends on your family and the dynamics that y'all have, but um I don't know. What do you think?
Mm, I definitely think that you wanna give it enough time, right? Because
Mhm.
obviously you don't wanna blow their bubble when they're still pretty young, but I think by middle school, I think your child should at the very least know that Santa doesn't exist. Because if you don't tell them then, somebody else at school will by that point. Because I think the kids are, most of them, by like 12, 13, kind of already know that Santa's not real. So I'm saying 12, 13, that's a good time or a good age to tell your child that Santa doesn't exist. I know when one of our kiddos, when we told them, they were devastated. There were tears and they were so
Mm.
upset. And they're like, why did you tell me? You could have given me another year. And I probably should have waited another year. I think they were maybe 10. Yeah, I think
Oh,
they were
poor
10 at
baby.
the time. I should have waited 2 more years. I think they would have been okay. He's like, "You ruined it for me. Like, I just wanted to believe." And so now with my other babies, I'm going to make sure that I take my time and
Mm-hmm.
I wait till at least 12. At the very least, minimum of 12. Yeah, I don't want to, I don't want to ruin it. And I guess there's something to be said about the magic or this, the Christmas spirit and them, being still really young and believing in all that.
Yeah, I agree. And the fun thing about it is now that you get your older kids to help you keep the magic alive for the
Mhm.
little ones. So, and also hope that they don't blow the cover
My
for the little
gosh.
ones as well.
Oh my gosh. They will like throw little hints and I'm like, y'all better stop it. But yeah, my older kids, I know they're just itching. They're just itching to like, devastate them and tell them that Santa's not real. But you know
Mm,
what? You're right. The older kids help out a lot. They move the dreaded elves on the shelf. They'll help me move them around. They don't do anything crazy. They just move them from location to location and they know that they're in charge of it. So they love that, and that's fun. Or they'll like eat Santa's cookies. If we leave out cookies for Santa, like they'll help out and with all that. So yeah, it's nice.
that's awesome. We eat Santa's cookies.
Yeah.
Do you ever do like the footprints like with the flower? Have you ever done that?
I think we did it 1 year, and that
Oh,
was
we did
it.
too.
But that's
Yeah,
fun.
we did it too. So when I was older, like maybe when we moved in the States, we got a Santa costume somewhere. I don't know where. My
Huh?
mom came home with it. And we took turns like every year after that until maybe my oldest was, I don't know, 1 or 2. I think that's when we stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Um Somebody would dress up as Santa every year and we would sit on that person's lap and like open gifts as if we were like, if he was real.
Yeah.
Um And it was pretty fun, but I mean, like I said, I was already old. I was already 16, 17 by then, but
Yeah.
that was a pretty cool tradition we kept going for a while because I had my niece and nephew. They were little. I think until they got old enough to know that Santa wasn't real, then
Mm-hmm.
that's when we stopped. Because I think one year we had either my niece, I think it was my niece, she dressed up as Santa one year. So that was pretty fun. I just remember that we used to do that, have somebody dress up as Santa, and we would sit on their lap and open up gifts.
That's
That was
pretty
pretty fun.
cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know one year my husband, he ordered a suit from Amazon and he dressed up like Santa and um he pretended to like leave presents on Christmas
Mhm.
Eve for the kids and that was really cool. And then he I know another year when the littles were younger, he dressed up like Santa because they were afraid of Santa. So he dressed up. So the other kids were like, "We know it's you, Dad. Like, we know it's not Santa." And I'm like, "Y'all better stop. This is Santa. Now sit on his lap and tell him what you want for Christmas."
That's funny. Yeah, those dang kids, man, they get to be certain age and they don't wanna play along anymore.
No, they don't. You know what? As a matter of fact, that reminds me of a story. So my two little ones. My 5-year-old and my 4-year-old came home with notes, pictures with Santa. So I sent the money, and my 5-year-old didn't get to take pictures because he was out sick that day, but my 4-year-old sure did. And, a few days later, he comes home with his pictures, and the 5-year-old's like, Mom, I know that um, Noah didn't take pictures with Santa. He's like, that is not Santa Claus. That's Larry. I know it's Larry. And I'm like, what? Who? What? Let me see. Show me the pictures. And he shows me the picture. He goes, you see right there? That's Larry. Larry's the school custodian. And I guess he dressed up as
Oh.
Santa. And let me tell you, that 5-year-old was not going to get fooled. He was like, nope, I know who it is. And I'm like, well, sometimes, Santa will reach out to other people to help him out. He's like, nope, I don't think so. He doesn't work for Santa. I know he doesn't. I was like, okay, calm down, kid. I was like, you're
That's
right.
hilarious.
I was like, you're right. It's an imposter. I'm like, but let's not tell the little one.
Don't break his heart. So maybe he'll outgrow it sooner than you think, the 5-year-old.
I think so. He's pretty mature for his age. Yeah. And he's pretty observant. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're not going to be able to fool that one.
Oh. So my 4-year-old is pretty excited. Like this is the first year that he like understands the concept of it, and
Mm
like he's so excited. He's like, "Mom, Santa's gonna come. He's got the reindeers and he's got a sleigh and da da da." And then he keeps saying, "I'm gonna catch him, Mom. I'm gonna
hmm.
catch him when he comes and leaves presents." And I keep telling him, "No, no, you can't. You gotta go to bed because if you see him, he's not gonna leave you any gifts." He's like, "No, Mom, I'm gonna catch him and he's gonna see me and I'm gonna see him." And I'm like, "No, dude, like you gotta go to sleep." So
Oh, you
he's
know,
pretty excited.
that's
I'm
so
excited
cute.
for him.
You know what you guys should do? You guys should make reindeer food. Have you seen that? Where so
No,
what you
what is it?
so what you do is you get oatmeal and glitter, and you mix it up, and then you throw it on your front lawn so that Santa or the reindeer can spot your house. He might like
Oh,
that.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, you do it like if he yeah, I guess you would do it the night before. Yeah, you just sprinkle
Mhm.
the lawn and it looks all glittery and pretty. And it's reindeer food.
Oh, that's awesome. Maybe we'll
Mhm.
put it on the driveway or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's excited.
Aw. Are you going to do the boots or the boot prints? You should for him.
We might this year, yeah. I'll get the other kids involved. Um, Maybe eating the cookies and stuff like that, drinking the milk that night.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think this is a year to get the two oldest involved and getting them to help out with it. Maybe I'll even put them to wrap gifts this year.
Oh, get yourself some little helpers. Oh, how fun.
Hell yeah.
That's for sure.
All right, so moving on.
Mhm.
What do you think the main goal should be for Christmas?
Well, I think one thing that I've really tried to focus on is a true meaning of Christmas. I think it's easy to get caught up in the hustle, the shopping, the planning, but I think at the end of the day, it's all about like family.
I agree. Like I've said before, I think I've learned not to stress over the little things like shopping and going out of my way to finding things for people. Um, Even for ourselves, like I think making the kids make a list
Mhm.
has worked out so well because then I know exactly what they need or what they want. And I'm not like I said, scrambling to find them things and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then also not worrying about if your house is like perfectly decorated like a Pinterest board or whatever.
Yeah.
Um I think it's more about the memories and the time that you spend with
Mhm.
your kiddos. Like this year it was awesome, having all three of them there helping decorate the tree, and then we decorated the hallway. And my daughter was so excited because Christmas is her favorite holiday. She
Mm.
freaking loves Christmas. So this year that I went all out and decorated early and like did all this stuff, I took her to Hobby Lobby with me to buy decorations.
Mhm.
And when we were there, I was like picking this, picking that, put it in the basket. We're buying it. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden she looks at me and she's like, "Mom, who are you? This is not you. You're not really excited ever for Christmas." I was like, "Well, baby girl, this year's gonna be different. So I'm definitely excited to decorate and be home and just enjoy as much time as possible with you guys." So it was nice to see her notice the difference
Mm. Yeah.
because I didn't realize how much attention she pays to me kind of being grinchy the years before that. So that makes my heart happy.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's definitely important to, kind of slow things down a little bit and really spend time with your family. Because in all
Mhm.
reality, that's what Christmas should be about, is spending time
Right.
with your family, not worrying about whether you've got the biggest, baddest, coolest gift for your kids, but it's more about teaching them, you know, the love you have for your family and the love of Christ. You know, I especially love to do my little nativity scene, and we do baby Jesus, and Christmas Eve we'll bring out little baby Jesus, and I love
Mhm.
that, and I love that mainly because I really want them to understand that the sole purpose of Christmas is to celebrate the birth of Jesus. And I
Right.
think a lot of the times we kind of that gets kind of pushed back and faded into the background, and it becomes about presents and about Santa, which is all good and great, right? But in the end, it's really about spending that quality time with your family. And I think we've done better over the years trying to do more things with the kids. I mean, we do like one tradition that we do every year is the dreaded pictures with Santa. And I know it's a
Mhm.
pain because we got to get them all dressed up. And now the older kids are kind of like, we're too old for this and we don't want to do it. But I do it for us because I want to have those memories. I want to have those pictures of my babies growing up and remembering, like, look, this is what we did for Christmas. This is how we celebrated. So that's one thing that I'm pretty big on, and I want to continue to do. Another thing is I love to put pictures of my babies on my Christmas tree. That's something that my mother-in-law that I learned from my mother-in-law that I kind of took over and do it now in our home, and it just, I want to see my babies grow up, and that's a perfect time to remember um how the family dynamics change over time. There's going to be a point in time where my
Mhm.
babies aren't going to want to spend Christmas with me, and they're going to have their own family and they're going to do their own things. So I want to preserve our traditions and our love for each other as long as humanly possible because I know this will all come to an end someday.
Right. Yeah, I feel the same way. And now that you mention that, I feel like we don't do that the whole pictures on the Christmas tree.
Mhm.
We do have a few that they've made at school, but we don't have a whole lot. So when we are putting up the Christmas tree and the kids start like pulling stuff out of the boxes,
Mhm.
and they look at them and they'll be like, "Oh my god, look at how little I was." And it's great. And then I look at them and it makes my heart like happy to see like the
Yeah.
change of how
Mhm.
much they've grown and all the memories that we have made throughout the years together. So that's an awesome thing.
Yeah. And you know what? And
Like you said.
I save every and any little like thing that they make for Christmas. Like if they make little like the little handprints and they'll make a
Mhm.
Santa, like I cut those out and I put those on my tree. Um if they color something and I think it's like something cute that I can cut out, like I'll laminate it, cut it out, and put it on my tree. So, like, not only do I have like ornaments with their pictures, like, I also have like some of the schoolwork that they do like for holidays, and I put them on my tree. And they love looking at it. They're like, oh, I did this. And I also put the buttons, the sports buttons. I put string on those and I'll put them on my tree.
That's awesome. That's a great idea. I had never thought about that. Of course, my kids don't have buttons, but that's a great idea. And the whole thing from schoolwork as well.
Yeah.
That's also a great idea. It's a great way to remember
Mhm.
how much they have grown. But yes, I love taking a moment on Christmas Eve as well to reflect
Mhm.
on all that we're grateful for. And like you said, to remind the kids that it's not just about the presents or
Mhm.
Santa, it's also about the birth of Jesus and
Mhm.
spending time together. Because, like you said, they're going to be gone someday, they're going to have their own families. Will they come back? Yes, of course. But, they're going to have their own families to worry about. So, I want to make memories with them for as long as I can until they get their own families and their own kiddos to make their own memories with.
Yeah, most definitely. We definitely started, new traditions. We're going to start the board game tradition. My husband ordered a ton of board games that we can play with the
That's awesome.
kids. Yeah, and just the little things. Um I also, through my students, have learned of a new tradition. It's a New Year's Eve tradition, and it's playing Monopoly. Have you heard of that? Some families will play Monopoly um, New Year's Eve, and then right at
Mm-hmm.
midnight, or they try to plan it out to where they finish the game right around midnight.
I never heard of it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I had several students who do that and I was like, "You know what? That's so cool. I'm going to steal it and we're going to do it because sometimes like the kids they're little and they have to wait all the way till midnight and you want to do something fun and you want to incorporate them into your traditions as well." And I think,
Right.
"Man, that's so
Ooh.
cool. That's so clever."
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I hate Monopoly though. I would pick another game. Monopoly takes so long. I get bored. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I would pick another game. Maybe Dominoes. Dominoes is pretty good.
Yeah. Just something different, something cool.
Mhm. Just to keep them up until midnight,
Mhm.
right? That I guess that's the point of it, to keep
Yeah.
them up until midnight.
Yeah, so they don't fall asleep and then you guys get to like celebrate together and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important, to teach the kiddos um the value of Christmas and how to be kind and to make sure that they're giving back.
Yeah, it's such an important lesson. You know what else we do though? We do like to watch Christmas movies.
Yeah?
Uh yeah. I mean, not Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but like probably as soon as we go on break, we'll start watching Christmas movies. And then I think my favorite thing to do is when it's cold enough to light up the fireplace and just sit
Mm.
in front of it and watch TV. Love that. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. Yeah. We do hot chocolate. That's become a big one. We do hot chocolate every once in a while. And
Mhm.
then we do gingerbread houses. So at the grocery store, usually
Mhm.
HEB or the grocery store will have like the kits, the gingerbread house kits.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's one thing that we've incorporated for several years now, where we buy the little kits and the kids, decorate their little houses. Of course, like it's mostly us building them, you know what I mean? Them eating the candy. But that's
Yes.
definitely a fun activity that we like to do with the kiddos.
Yeah, that sounds fun. We also did gingerbread houses for a
Yeah?
while. As a matter of fact, my daughter just asked like 2 days ago. She told my husband, "Daddy, can we do a gingerbread house?" And he automatically he's like, "No, we're not doing it." Because you're right, we always end up doing it, and he always ends up doing it. Because I'm like,
Mm,
"No, count me out. I do everything else, but I'm not doing these." So,
yeah.
oh, you know what else? Do you guys write letters to Santa still?
We do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the older kiddos, but this year we did it with the two younger kiddos. Yeah, we did. Yeah, my husband went and bought like the fancy letters with a fancy envelope, and then he sat down with the kiddos and asked them the little questions that were in the little questionnaire, and then they all went together and they mailed them in this fancy red mailbox, and those letters are supposed to get to like Santa. So we'll see.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't done letters to Santa since we told our kids that Santa wasn't real.
Yeah.
Um, and we didn't do it this year with the little one. Maybe we'll do it next year. I
Yeah.
guess we still have time.
You
Maybe I'll have my
do.
daughter help him. Maybe I'll have my daughter help him with it.
Yeah, that'll be cute.
Um, it's a fun way to build excitement
Mhm.
towards Christmas.
Yeah. You know what's one thing that I've always wanted to do and I have never done
Mm.
is the photos, like send out Christmas cards. Like I feel like the people who send out like family Christmas cards just have it together. Like I
Oh,
know you guys
girl.
have done it.
I haven't done it in years though.
Yeah.
Years. I'm telling you, I just became this Grinch for Christmas and it got to the point where I was so stressed out all the time that I stopped caring. I didn't want to do it. I
Yeah.
didn't just you know what I mean? But we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it.
Yeah, little by little, for sure.
Maybe next year, um, we'll get together like before Christmas and I'll
Mhm.
take your family pictures and then you can take my family pictures.
Oh my
And then we'll
gosh.
send out Christmas cards for everybody next year.
Oh, I love that. Yes, we're totally doing that. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a date, girl. We're doing it
All
next year.
right.
Yeah, because I've always wanted to have like, cute little Christmas photos and mail them out. Yeah. Well, hermanas, that's our Christmas episode. Whether you're starting new traditions or keeping old ones alive, remember to keep the focus on family and love.
And don't stress the little things. The magic of Christmas is in the moments, not the details. Feliz Navidad, everyone.
Merry Christmas, and until next time, stay warm.
Bye.
Bye.